Alright, gentlemen, let's talk about the real reason why semen retention is quote unquote not working for you. And we're going to be breaking this down into two separate categories and two different personas. And that is the no-fap incel and the righteously devoted retainer. The no-fap incel and the righteously devoted retainer. So let's talk about those two and let's break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. Alright, so for the people out there that kind of confuse no-fap with semen retention, this is gonna make it clear. But also, I got a video on the main channel for Lighty Fitness talking about no-fap versus semen retention, the final answer to which one is better for you and your journey. Because my channel and my content is more for the guys that are not on just quote unquote self-improvement, but on the path to actual self-mastery, which will entail the ultimate goal of self-realization. And that is a more of a spiritual path. Yes, we're still focusing on improving our mind and body, eventually to help elevate our soul. But in turn, all of this stuff works together. So if you're just on self-improvement, you want to be more low-key, chill, and stuff like that, by all means, get to it. But this type of content, my brand, my message really won't connect with you. You won't really feel that drive to actually want to do these things I speak about, because this takes another step on the path. And that's why I would categorize those type of people. It might be you. I'm not trying to say you're a bad person, you're evil, or this and that, but that category of people falls into the no-fap incels. And I don't want to say incels as a condescending term, but that's just the truth. An incel, what that means, aside from all the social media use of it, an incel is an involuntary celibate person. An involuntary. You're not doing it voluntarily. You're not kind of distancing yourself away from lust through your own choice. You're kind of doing it involuntarily. You can't get no girls. That's just the whole premise of it. And most of those guys, they fall into the no-fap route. No watching porn, no masturbation, all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and that's a good step in the right direction, but it doesn't give you all these profound benefits you get from the actual sacred practice of semen retention, the sacred practice of cultivating your life force energy and redirecting your sexual energy to higher pursuits. That is semen retention. That you don't get that from just not watching porn and just not masturbating. You don't get that. You might get a little boost in your just overall life by not watching porn finally, not masturbating finally. Like, yeah, those are some good steps in the right direction. But to get to that real path, that ultimate path that you really step into, oh damn, like my sexual energy is powerful. My life force energy is powerful. And when I'm retaining it, I feel powerful. I feel powerful mentally, physically, and most importantly, spiritually. This is what in Vedic terms, in yogic terms, they call it Shakti. You have that power, you have that aura to you, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing the longer you go on this path. And that isn't, you can't do that just by retaining your seed. That's why I made a whole guide on my main channel, how to succeed on semen retention, talking about all the different practices that you need to instill along this path, which also is detailed within the Art of Retention ebook, which you guys can go get your copy today if you haven't already. And that's going to be linked into that guide. There's a whole audio series as well. You can find the playlist on the main channel for Lighty Fitness, so you can tap in and understand all the different details that really come together to establish the foundation and structure that you need to actually succeed on this path of cultivating your sexual energy and actually retaining it towards a higher pursuit in life and actually using it to your benefit. Because if I haven't dropped the video already on this channel, the no-fap incel, that type of person who's just not masturbating, who's just not watching porn, this and that, they will fall into the concept of sexual repression. They're repressing their sexual energy. And that in itself is a very harmful and dangerous thing you can do, because energy needs to be expressed in one way or another. Energy doesn't usually stay in a constant stillness. That's the law of entropy. It's always moving, it's always changing. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. And that's the same thing applies to your sexual energy. Your sexual energy wants to be used in a creative essence, in a creative way. And that one of those ways is procreation. But when you're just chasing around random thoughts, trying to get to the box, you're not really doing that for procreation. You're just doing that because you're in a state of lust. So when you go watch porn and you masturbate, you're doing that in a state of lust. It's not for a purpose. It's not for, procreation. Like, there's ways around that. There's all those tantric practices, non-ejaculatory sex and all that stuff. I don't think any of that stuff really is beneficial if you're not doing it with your actual partner in life, because all this edging practices, nonsense, kind of just overall puts you in state back into lust. You think you found a little loophole. You're not really devoted to this practice. You're not really devoted to actually seeing all the benefits, and that's why you're not getting all the benefits. You're doing stuff like edging. You're watching porn still. You're trying to just chase after women. Be like, oh yeah, well I didn't bust. I'm telling you right now, the physical aspect of semen retention is one thing, but there's a mental aspect of it where you're raising your level of consciousness up to your spiritual senses, and that doesn't come from always thinking about women. That doesn't come from always edging. That doesn't come from just keeping your mind in a state of lust, keeping your soul in a state of lust, still being a slave to your flesh. It does not come with that. And the nofap incel, that's why they run into problems of where they see guys like me, maybe on my channel, guys like other people on their channels, talk about all the nice benefits that come. Hey, relax. I'm dog's about to knock over the camera. They see all the benefits. They're like, wow, man, if I do this, I can maybe get a girlfriend. I can maybe have sex. Everybody's talking about female attraction. Everybody's talking about you start glowing, your skin gets better, your hair gets better, you get more muscles, all that stuff. Yeah, that's one of the things, but you're doing it for a lower end purpose, and your mind is going to be still stuck in a state of lust. While you might get some of those surface level benefits, you're still kind of boxing yourself into one aspect of this practice. You're not seeing the full unfoldment of how powerful it truly is. And the nofap incel, like, if this is you, be honest with yourself, be honest with me. I'm talking to you right now. If you are on a X amount of day streak on nofap or on semen retention, you think it's semen retention, but you call it, you think it's, semen retention, but in reality it's nofap. You're on this long streak, and some dime piece, 10 out of 10, wants to have sex with you. You're gonna drop that whole thing, and you're not gonna really focus on your purpose anymore. Because your whole purpose this entire time of doing nofap was to become more attractive, to get female attraction, to be able to eventually not be an incel, not being involuntary celibate. You want to actually experience that sensual pleasure. And I'm not saying that's bad, I'm not saying that's good, I'm not saying that's anything, that's just what it is. So you're not seeing those next level benefits. You're not seeing why semen retention actually works. You think it's just placebo. You think it's just bullshit where I'm talking on the screen right now, talking about all these benefits, why I dropped the whole guide on how to do it, all the benefits on the main channel, the metaphysical benefits, the mental benefits, physical, esoteric secrets, spiritual, all that stuff. You're just like, dude, like, it sounds cool, but I'm not seeing it, because you would drop this at a drop of a hat if you saw that woman just show interest into you and you could smash. If you could smash, you do it right now, you would forget about this practice, and that's it. That's why these people are what I would refer to as nofap incels. They might think they're on semen retention, but if they had the chance to get a sliver of that box, they'd do it. They would do it. And they would do it without any really conscious thought to it, because they are still in the level of lust. They're living in their lower state, their lower nature, their lower chakras, their lower worlds, their lower centers of consciousness. You dig what I'm saying? When you're still stuck in that lower state of consciousness, you're still trying to appease those lower desires. Those lower desires: lust, food, shelter, water, survival, sex, reproduction. Those are the lower desires. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying they're lower. Man has different aspects to his nature. There's a lower, there's the heart that expands onto, like, oh wait, I'm not just living life, everything around me, I'm out of survival mode. Now I'm seeing, oh wait, I can actually help benefit others as well. That's living the heart chakra. And then the upper levels, the higher faculties, are connecting you to the spiritual senses in the spiritual world, and you're gonna see more about life in a broad way, in a more holistic way, which isn't just me, pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. I gotta just take. I gotta just feel. You're not like that anymore. You're more conscious of what you're doing, why you're doing it, why you're actually here, what's the dharmic purpose, why you were brought here. That's the righteously devoted retainer. That's what they experience. That's what I'm experiencing. That's what maybe you're experiencing. You feel a direct connection to God, and through this path, through cleansing yourself, through elevating your level of consciousness and purifying the mind, body, and soul, you're essentially becoming a divine vessel for God, which I talked about on my private Patreon community. If you do want to join up, help support the boy, and actually get up on some more sauce, get access to exclusive videos, full guides, occult lectures, and monthly masterminds where we do live calls with each other, talk about all these different things, then join up. The link is going to be posted in the pinned comment of this video. You can go check that out. Different tier memberships, all that good stuff. Where you can find all these different types of deeper concepts and topics I talk about on this channel, I talk about on the main channel, but more expand into another level. But aside from that, that divine vessel of God is what the righteously devoted retainer feels. He feels guided throughout life by his higher self, because he is connecting to those spiritual senses, those intuitive centers of his mind. That's making him a magnet of the divine will of the universe. All those thoughts that come into your mind, all these ideas that come into your mind, all these innovative things that you should do on this path of life are essentially becoming directed to your brain like a radio transmitter, since you've elevated your level of frequency and vibration through this practice. And that's going to be your inner guru or guide on what to do in life and how to actually succeed on this path and become the ultimate version of yourself on the path of self-mastery towards the ultimate goal of self-realization. That is what differentiates between the two. One's doing it for lower end purposes. They're doing NoFap for the benefits just on the surface level, to see that, oh man, maybe I'll get a girlfriend. Oh man, maybe I'll. God damn, bro. Every time I start spitting that game, the feds come around. Hold up. Alright, so they're doing it for the surface level benefits that's still feeding into their lower nature, their lustful nature, and it might work, and it might get you some of these lower level benefits, but you are doing this practice, you want to see the higher level benefits, and that's why you're kind of frustrated with it, because you're sexually repressing that energy and not actually sexually transmuting that energy to higher levels and it pursue higher things in life. You're still using the sexual energy for its not the worst case scenario, but it's like the lowest level. Like, yes, creating a child is probably one of the most amazing things you can do with this energy, but let's be honest, you're not really doing that. You're not really doing NoFap and semen retention, holding and retaining your seed just for that at this age of your life. You kind of want to see the other benefits and the other powers of this practice, whether that's the mental clarity to help your business, whether that's the confidence to be able to speak on camera, speak clearly, speak with power. Come on, man. Dig what I'm saying? Whether that's the spiritual connection to be able to awaken that higher self within you to help guide you in life. You want to see those benefits, and you're not going to see them when you're just in that NoFap incel state where you're just doing this for the lower end reasons. It comes always down to the purpose, because I've talked about so much on this channel and my other channel, the main channel for Light Fitness, that on semen retention you magnify whatever it is you focus on. It amplifies anything that you focus on. And if you focus on lustful thoughts, which is, I'm gonna do semen retention NoFap because this guy said I'm gonna get a lot of girls, they're all gonna stare at me, this and that, like, then that's gonna magnify. That's gonna magnify by nature of living in those lower worlds and lower centers, and you're not actually going to raise that energy up to the higher centers. Yet if you focus on higher things and magnify that and amplify that, guess what? The same thing happens. If you're focusing on a path of divinity, of God, of becoming a divine vessel for God, of actually pursuing a deeper purpose in life, whether that's a business, whether that's your career path, whether that's becoming just overall a better son or a better husband or a better whatever it is, you just focus on becoming the ultimate version of yourself and connecting yourself to the divine source to help guide you along this way. Guess what? That's gonna happen. That is gonna happen, and that's where you'll actually be seeing the path where you're walking in unison, or you're yoking yourself to God or to the universe or to the supreme source. And guess what? You can't lose when you're doing that. You cannot fucking lose when you yoke yourself to God, to the divine will of the universe, to the supreme source of all, the primordial source of all, because that essence already has established your fate, already has established what you're going to do on this lifetime. It's up to you to actually follow it, because when you follow it, you're going to be put in the right path. When you try to go against it, you're going to be put in a more, you could still succeed in life, but you're not going to be fulfilled in life. You're not going to be ultimately fulfilled holistically with your mind, body, and soul. You might be fulfilled mentally and physically, but the soul is going to be feeling empty. That's why a lot of these millionaires, billionaires, who got all the girlfriends, who got all this, the money and stuff like that, still feel unfulfilled with their life. They still might commit self-deletion, take themselves out. You dig what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down? They might do that still. And that comes to the fact that their soul doesn't feel fulfilled. And that's something that the NoFap incel will not understand or actually comprehend on this path, because they're doing it for their own selfish and, I'm not saying immoral, but degenerate reasons. Like if you're just willing to just drop your everything that you're doing on this path, and you're actually seeing all these benefits, you're seeing that you're actually pursuing your purpose, but you see a dime piece right there, and she just wants to smash. And you'll do it like that, that means you don't value your seed. The divinely, or the righteously devoted retainer, has a proper respect and values their seed and their sexual energy and their time, their attention, all that stuff, man. They're not just gonna drop it for any girl out there. Doesn't matter how physically attractive they are. Doesn't matter how much of a dime piece they are. How much they're just pulled innately, biologically to that woman. They don't care about that. Yes, it's still a part of them. I'm not saying like if when you're on semen retention, you just don't care about women altogether. You're just not making them the priority. You're not making sex a priority. You're not making lust run your life. That's the whole point of this practice. You want to transcend above that. You want to use your bigger head, not your lower head, to think. Because a lot of people let the lower head, they fucking cock and balls, run their life, make them choose decisions. Like, I'm gonna get this car because girls will like me. I'm gonna wear this clothes because girls will like me. I'm gonna get this place. I'm gonna live in this area because girls will like me. I'm gonna drink this alcohol because girls like this alcohol. I'm like being around that environment. Like all that shit. You're not even doing it for the women that are like actually gonna be good for you. You're just doing it because you want to get the woman to have sex with. You're just kind of using them. So it's not even that you even like women in itself. You don't really like the feminine nature of women. You just like that release. You like that dopamine release you get from releasing your seed. And that is what they call in, I think in French, they call it the little death, the small death. Because each time you're releasing, you're losing a part of that life force energy, and you're not as vital, you're not as vigorous, you're not as masculine, you're not as energetic, you're not as spiritually inclined, you're not as purposeful, you're not as powerful with your decisions and with your overall directions and paths and step to life. You're just kind of floating around. Again, you still might succeed on the material plane. I'm not saying the people that whack off a lot or have a lot of women or just smash all these girls that they'll not succeed. Most of them will not. There's some outliers here and there. There's always outliers, but they won't feel fulfilled. They won't feel like they're actually becoming a divine vessel for God. And some people don't care about that. That's why I referenced in the beginning of this video that this is just not self-improvement. This is self-mastery. Self-mastery leads you to self-realization. Self-realization is the ultimate goal of life. You can call that heaven, you can call that nirvana, you can call that moksha, you can call that enlightenment. All these things, once you got your basic love needs met, what else more is there to life? Because this physical stuff, this material stuff, this mental stuff is impermanent. What actually matters after that is the spiritual side. And if you don't actually awaken and activate those spiritual senses through these types of practices, through actually transcending the emotion of lust to cosmic love through the heart chakra and overall cosmic consciousness, which is the crown chakra, then you're just going to be stuck living in the lower worlds. And that's totally fine. That's what keeps this whole cycle of samsara and this whole matrix running. We need people like that to keep this going. Yet some people, whether that's you, whether that's the next person, whether that's some person watching this 10 years down the line, I don't know. Some of those people that actually who are righteously devoted to retain their seed want more to life. They see that there's more to life, and then they see that this practice will give them the essentially nitric boost, the act as a catalyst to actually achieve those states, actually achieve that next level of your overall development. They're not just doing it for the lower level benefits. They might get those, yes, that might entice them in the beginning, but the longer they go on it, the more they understand that, damn, man, this ain't just, oh man, I'm gonna get energy throughout the day. Oh man, I'm gonna get no more brain fog. Oh man, I'm gonna have better mental clarity, all this stuff like that. That's what got me into it. But I understood that there's also some spiritual side to it, and I was just getting on my spiritual journey, and I was just kind of being guided by the universe just after spiritual awakening to go on this path. And guess what? Now I'm 3.5 years on it, and I see the real power to it, and I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just scratching the motherfucking surface like a fucking lottery card. Taking that quarter and I'm just scratching off, see if I get those numbers to get the lottery. I'm seeing that there is more to this practice than you might think. And that's why I discuss about all these types of things on the main channel, on the Patreon, as well as this channel, that this is a path towards self-mastery. It's not just for guys trying to quit porn, or just trying to quit addiction to sex, or just trying to quit addiction to just chasing women all the time. That's step one. Then you get to ground zero. Just getting from that to just not being in a state of lust 24/7 is ground zero. You're in negative before. From ground zero and on, that's when real pure retention, celibacy, and actually using your spiritual and sexual energy towards higher pursuits in life come into play. That's when you really start kicking into your spiritual abilities, your supernatural abilities, your just overall higher faculties. Because you're not thinking about lust all the time. You're thinking about higher things, and those higher things will allow higher thoughts to enter your mind, because your mind is a magnet. You're not really thinking those thoughts. Every thought that you have is essentially out there in the ether, and whatever level of frequency you're at is going to magnetize that. It's going to pull that in towards it. And if you're just always thinking about lust, guess what's going to pull? Lustful things. You're going to be on Instagram scrolling all the time. I haven't had Instagram. Yes, I have an Instagram for Full Body Fitness, but I'll do that for DMing people for podcasts, or some people want to do one-on-one consultations, or they just talk to me just for a little tips and advice and stuff like that. But I'm not using that thing to scroll around, because I know that that app and this shit is just going to show me lustful things. So I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about what's the next video I can make. I'm thinking about what's the next way I can craft this project that I'm making on Patreon. What's the best way I can actually improve my coaching abilities, one-on-one coaches? What's the best way I can enhance my ability to reach more people and get this message out and overall curate it in a way where people can actually take it in a practical sense? I'm thinking about those things. I'm not thinking about, oh man, bro, you think that girl's gonna be at the club tonight? Like, fuck, dude. Should we just get wasted before? Should we pregame before, or should we pregame at the club? Like, dude, like that shit is gonna keep you in a state of just loser shit, dude. And everybody's doing that. And it doesn't matter if they're doing no-fap, semen retention. That is the distinction between the divinely righteously devoted retainer and the no-fap incel. The no-fap incel will just quit porn, quit masturbation for the time being, just to be able to get a piece of box, and they'll just throw it all away if they have the chance, if they have the opportunity. And if it's too long, it's too bad. They're just gonna be like, oh man, I just didn't see any benefits. I don't know what the fuck is the point, bro. I'm just gonna go jack off. I'm gonna go masturbate. I'm gonna do like weekly cycles of no-fap because the testosterone goes up after a week. Like all this shit is just gonna keep you in a cycle of lust, bro. And that lustful cycle is just gonna keep you at your lower states and your low levels of consciousness, and you're gonna perform lower. You're gonna be a lower version of yourself. You're not gonna be as vibrant and bright and vigorous and vital, and just have that, what they call in the Germanic terms, vril, which is that masculine divine energy within you, which comes from none other than your seed, and that metaphysical aspect of it. That's not just, okay, it's just your semen, it's just the actual essence of that masculine hormone in you. You're just gonna lower yourself to that point where you're not gonna be the ultimate point of yourself. And that is why you might be thinking semen retention doesn't work for you. You might be thinking that this is all bullshit. You might be thinking that this guy is talking nonsense, that I'm just gonna do regular no-fap, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm telling you right now, those are the reasons. And if you're being truly honest with yourself, you know what I'm saying is right, because I was in your position. I was in your position, and I see it from 3.5 years afterwards. I'm giving you guys advice I wish I got from a YouTube channel, from an older brother, from an OG, a young OG out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping you all that game so you guys can make these gains. I'm giving y'all that game. I'm giving y'all that sauce I wish I had to understand that this practice is much deeper, much more profound, much more powerful, and you really realize, and the way you approach it will eventually shift your perspective and shift your actual the actual effects that you receive on this path. If you're just doing this as a no-fap incel, as an involuntary celibate, you just be like, okay, I'm not getting any girls. I don't want to keep watching porn because I hear that it's going to ruin my brain, it's going to ruin my body, it's going to ruin all this stuff. Yet, I'm going to do no-fap for female attraction, this and that. Like, you're not actually devoted to actual purpose. You're not actually directing this sexual energy to a right direction. You're repressing it. You're gonna be like, I'm not gonna watch porn, I'm not gonna masturbate, but if I get that girl, I'm gonna pop. I'm gonna pop like a fucking firework. I'm gonna let my shit rip. Like, that is repressing the sexual energy. You're not actually allowing it to raise up, activate the spiritual centers, activate the heart chakra, activate the throat chakra, activate your third eye, your crown, and all that stuff. It's just living and just getting stuck in the root, in the sacral. And sometimes it's just, you can get it up to the willpower that makes you want to go chase things in life, materialistic stuff, yet it might be stuck there. You're just going to grab this car, this house, this stuff. Why? To appease the lower nature, which still comes down to the root chakra, sacral chakra, and that overall desire of sex, that craving for sex. When a man transcends that, he understands that there's more to life. He understands that there's higher aspects of life, and sex and having women and stuff like that is just a byproduct of becoming the best version of themselves. They can pick and choose what women they want because they have the discernment of being able to see past the physical appearance. Yes, you might be physically attracted, but what is this woman the type of girl that you would actually want to raise a family with, that you actually could see yourself having kids with? Could actually see helping your overall development in life, mentally, physically, and spiritually, maybe in your business, stuff like that, overall in life? Is this a person to do that? If they're not, you're not going to be so enticed. So it doesn't matter how hot they are. It doesn't matter how long you've been on semen retention. It doesn't matter how much you've devoted yourself to this practice, because you're actually transcending that energy and transmuting it. It's not stuck. It's not repressed. And you don't feel like a need to, I have to have sex. It's like, that's bondaging you to your lower nature, that need, that craving, just like food, just like water. Like those things, yes, you do need. You don't quote unquote need sex. It's a part of this human experience where you can procreate. It feels good. It what's it called? It satisfies your sensual pleasures. It does all of that, but you don't need it to survive. It's past survival. That's why sometimes they say it's a sacral chakra. They sometimes say it's past survival mode, which is the root chakra, which is just obviously not getting killed, not starving to death, not freezing to death, not dehydrating yourself to death. Once those are good, you get into sacral chakra. It's, all right, so how do I reproduce? How do I keep this going? And if you can pass that, it's a willpower. How can I get resources and all that stuff to expand my empire? Then you go to the heart chakra, then it's, okay, how can I actually use my abilities to the betterment of people? Then you go to the throat chakra, you're using those creative abilities to speak your desires or whatever your pursuits into existence, speaking things to existence. Then you get into the third chakra, which is actually using the intuitive capabilities of yourself to kind of guide you through life. Then you get the crown chakra, self-realization. There is no better point than that. So as you see, there's a little analogy and metaphor to this whole concept of sexual repression and sexual transmutation, the differences in between the two, and how that leads to someone being a nofap incel or an actually righteously devoted retainer. And that's what will determine whether this practice works for you or not, whether this actually gets you those benefits or not, whether it actually benefits your life or not. It's not the practice itself, it's you. It's your own perspective and your own personal approach to it. What are you doing this for? Why are you doing it? This is something I ask to every one of my one-on-one consultation clients or the people in my coaching programs that ask me, okay, well, semen retention isn't working for me. Well, I ask them this: what is the purpose you're doing it for? And when they understand that and they actually get to the real root of the cause, they mostly understand that this was more of a thing for vanity, for a thing for themselves, for a selfish purpose. It wasn't a higher pursuit. And once you get the higher pursuit, it becomes way easier. It doesn't become flawless, effortless, but it becomes more, you have an actual reason behind it. Something that's higher than just, oh, I want to get a girlfriend, I want to feel the female attraction, I want to have more energy in life. You can do that without semen retention. I'm just being honest with you. You can do all that shit without it. You cannot do certain things without sexual discipline. You don't have to do semen retention for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to get those higher spiritual awakenings and higher spiritual senses to activate, but it's needed in some way, shape, or form. So that's why I say to all those clients for consultations and the coaching programs, if you do want to join up, of course, you're going to have to put in an application for coaching. You can find that in the pinned comment of this video. You also can just book a one-on-one consultation call with me in the Calendly link also as well, that you can find right there. But that is probably the biggest distinction between the person who will actually see the benefits and who won't see the benefits. The nofap incel versus the actually righteously devoted retainer. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you're understanding the main concept, the main message of this video, you're gonna see that the reason why you're not seeing the benefits, or the reason why you think it doesn't work, is because you are doing it for a temporary thing. You're doing it to see if the benefits will happen. If they don't happen and you have an opportunity to spill your seed, you're gonna throw it all away. But if you're devoted to this practice, and not just devoted to this practice, devoted to a higher purpose, and you're using this practice as a source of fuel, as a catalyst, as an overall igniter to get you to that purpose, then that's when the real magic happens. Semen retention is never the goal. NoFap is never the goal. Just holding your seed is never the goal. It is the, like I said before, the booster, the amplifier, the magnifier for the higher purpose. That higher purpose could be whatever comes into your mind, whatever the divine will of the universe and your inner guru and your higher self directs you towards. I can only give you the tools to connect to that essence, but at the end of the day, it's going to give you more information and more guidance to your life than I possibly ever can, than anybody possibly ever can. That divine source of connection, that intuition to the supreme source. That's what you cultivate through these practices. And these are just all tools to get you there. Like I just said before, I can only give you the tools, but at the end of the day, when they all come together, that is the actual project and masterpiece you're building. through the art of self-mastery, which entails the ultimate goal of self-realization. So there it is, man. Your boy was out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these gains, and I'm out of here. Peace.